I have got a fun little. Oh, hey. Oh, yay, Lisa, I could see your comment. Thank you. Hello. Happy Friday, you guys. I have got I'm doing kind of a stamp stack. I'm not going to do all 7 cards that the stamp stack does. I'm only going to do one of each design. But because I'm going to have a lot of coloring while you guys are getting in here, I'm just stamping some snails in Memento ink on Whisper White cardstock. Hey, Wendy. Hi, Kathy. I'll show you the projects in just a second. We're going to do some Snailed It cards. I had about a dozen of my Freezin' Fun Stamp-A-Stack class pack left from November. And usually my class packs sell out. And usually they sell out quickly. But this one's been hanging around here. And I keep walking past it. And I said, ooh, you know, those colors would be really awesome with Snailed It Bundle. And pulled it out one night. I was watching Mountain Men with Max. Do you guys watch Mountain Men? We love Mountain Men. So I'm watching Mountain Men with Max and making the Freezin' Fun Stamp-A-Stack class pack into Snailed It cards. So this is my class pack. There's still a few left in the kitchen table stamper store in case anybody wants to stamp along with me. You can get this packet. It's enough cards and envelopes. There's 7 cards. I do your die cutting, like the basic. I do the labels and the circles and the tags and stuff for you. We're going to cut this according to Wonder Recipe number 12. It's brand new. We'll cut the paper. And then you get a 1/4 of a pack of Trimming the Town Designer Series paper. That's sold out. This is the Misty Moonlight in color ribbon. And then you also get, it's hidden behind the label. Let's see if I can find my, a piece of the, what was this one called? All the trimmings, resin embellishments in the kit. So we're going to make the Freezin' Fun kit into Snailed It cards today. I'll show you, there's 3 designs and there are 7 cards. And we're going to have quite a bit of stamping to do. You get all your Whisper White cardstock. There's about 3 sheets of Whisper White cardstock because I put a bunch in for stamping. When I do the Stamp-A-Stack, I like to stamp them all first. And then I go through and do the coloring, and then I do the cutting, and then I do the embossing and assembling. So let me show you those. I'll get this out of the way. So this is the Stamp-A-Stack. We'll make 2 Snailed It cards, 1 in olive and 1 in poppy parade. We're going to do the olive one today. It'll make 2 You've Got Mail cards. Both are Misty Moonlight. We'll make 1 of those today. And then the kit will make 3 of this little hello design, Poppy Parade, Old Olive, and Misty Moonlight, 1 of each color from the kit. And we're going to make the Poppy Parade one today. So we'll go through, because they're exactly the same design. I just mixed and matched the colors. So these are the 3 that we're going to put together today. Okay, let me jump in and we'll color and chat some more. I have Crumb Cake, Old Olive, Granny Apple Green, Poppy Parade, and then I pulled my Seaside Spray. It's retiring. Grab that while you can, but I'm only using the dark one. And Misty Moonlight, I'm going to use light Misty Moonlight. So I'm putting aside light Seaside Spray and dark Misty Moonlight. I like to use the coordinating or the colors like that to give myself a deeper range. And I'm just going to color in a couple of things here. I did one little snail ahead of time because how long can you watch me color? Well, I don't know. I like to watch crafty videos. I think I could watch somebody color for a long time, but I don't want to keep you all day. So I did color one of my snails ahead of time. I'm doing their bodies, both of them, and their shells, both of them the same colors. So I figured that would be enough instruction for you. I'm just doing my light crumb cake, and I do oval strokes working over the leading edge. If you put wet ink, this is a squeaky marker. If you put wet ink over the wet edge, you'll get a nice solid fill. And with Stampin' Blends, if you wanted to stop there, you could. It looks great. Smooth, professional coverage. but the artist suggests that the belly might have a little speckle or texture. So then I'll go through with my dark crumb cake and I'll just dot over and then extend where the artist put in the speckle. Then I'll do little speckles of the light crumb cake to just kind of fade and spread those dark crumb cake dots, make them a little bit less obvious. So that's my snail's body. And I did Wilbur the same way. So there's Wilbur, he's already colored that way. And then the snail's shell, I don't think that marker cap's on all the way, is going to be dark Seaside Spray and light Misty Moonlight. And I'm just going to color in the same way, laying down a base coat, little circles, working on that leading edge to get a smooth fill. And we'll go through the whole shell. I love these snails, you guys, and I love this color combination. I thought it looked really earthy, but still bright and happy. Kind of like a fairy garden, you know, with the mushroom with the poppy parade top with the white dots, and then that white on poppy parade polka dot paper. Oh, I couldn't resist. And I always need a ton of cards, so having the design already done with the Stamp-A-Stack class packet and them just sitting here, I could not resist. All right, Misty Moonlight, we're drawing kind of a shadow where the shell is going to round around and meet the body, and we'll just work those two colors together, the Misty Moonlight into the Seaside Spray. And then once you've got them worked into your satisfaction, then go back and hit each of the stripes. So for the little Wilbur guy, I colored the same. Wilbur and Yolanda are the same color, crumb cake, and then the Seaside Spray Misty Moonlight combination. All right, so there's those guys. I don't have Desi here today. Do you guys remember last week when I just handed it over to Desi and she helped a girl out and colored my extra pieces? She's off to school today, the last day before spring break, so she really wanted to go see her kids. All right, and then Poppy Parade light on the heart, a little dark on the left side, bring it together. And that's how I did the seal on the little snail mail too. And I'm going to do the same thing with my mushroom top here. I love this stamp, this little mushrooms and the, I don't know, it looks like a little forest of mushrooms. And when I saw it at first, I'm like, who's going to use a mushroom stamp? I'll tell you, the one who can't put the snails down will use a mushroom stamp. Sometimes I don't know what I'm going to like, I guess. All right, so this guy's light Poppy Parade. And then I'm going to do dark Poppy Parade underneath, because it'll be kind of shadowed under there from the outside edge in along the top. And then I'll go up the sides, bringing it in. And just a very thin line across the top. And then I'll bring those all together with the light again. And you can just color it with the dark Poppy Parade if you wanted to, just to have that dark Poppy Parade and white contrast. Ooh, do you guys see that? Pretend like you don't see it. I got a little red in my white spot. The mushroom would go well with the gnomes from the fall catalog. It sure would. I loved those gnomes too. I don't know. I guess woodland things are my bag. All right, touching the little red spot and pushing it back. And I'll keep going back to that. So the color lifter is fantastic if you make any mistakes. I'm going to take light Granny Apple and light Old Olive. I wanted a little bit brighter than Old Olive. So I just colored my weeds here, my little plantlers. Don't they look like the plantler punch? With the light granny apple. And then I'm gonna go over with the light old olive, and it gives it kind of a little bit brighter shade of olive. The granny apple green was too kind of celery, too bright, too happy, but I felt like the old olive was too earthy. So I'm combining the two colors because that's how I roll. Crafty girls do what they want, right? So if you want to mix old olive and granny apple, go for it. And if you want to mix misty moonlight and seaside spray, that's where the good stuff happens. All right, I'm going to keep pushing back. I'll keep going back to that spot. Veronica loves that I'm using their proper names. Here's the problem though. Okay, so I've got to go back and finish my mushrooms, but since we're talking about their proper names, I also dug a little bit deeper in my craft stash, and I'm doing it because I want to be a good example to you to dig into your craft stash. And I got this guy. Do you remember him from Paper Pumpkin? What's his name? He needs a name too. We're gonna color him up for one of the cards. I couldn't resist. I, paid for the Paper Pumpkin. I did all the cards. The stamp set is really where it's at with Paper Pumpkin. You get a stamp set and all those project kits for like the cost of a stamp set. And then I just put the stamp sets on a shelf and wonder when I'm gonna use them again. All right, that's my little snail. I'm gonna need quite a few of these little envelopes. I used them kind of like embellishments on the card. So I'm gonna stamp 5 of those guys. I should have cut a few ahead of time, but I cleaned up a big mess instead. So bear with me, we're gonna have to cut quite a few envelopes to finish this. But they'll go quick, I think. I need a part-time studio assistant. Anybody in the Chicago area want to come die cut and color? My aunt is actually going to be here a little bit later today. She stopped to get us lunch. I'm so spoiled. All right, let me do a little bit more color in here. Mushroom stems and mushroom tops. I'm going to use my light crumb cake and my color lifter for the stems on my mushrooms. And this one I did full crumb cake. And then these ones I just did a shadow of the light crumb cake on the left side. You can see the artist drew the shadow to the left side, so you want to keep that. And then I'm going to use my color lifter and blend the crumb cake back to white on these skinny stems, and then just soften where the highlight is. See the artist shadow? We want to have the highlight opposite of that. So we're going to lighten up that crumb cake and bring it back to white on these stems. While we've got it, we'll push that red back a little bit. We can't like bully it back. We have to coax it back. But if you just keep going back to it, you can clean up almost any mistake using the color lifter. We're going to do our mushroom tops, the little guys with dark seaside spray, and then we'll go shadow. We're going to stick to that left side shadow with the light misty moonlight, and then blend those two together. I do love this mushroom. Never thought for a million years I would want a mushroom stamp. Gotta bring a little more misty moonlight underneath this mushroom. All right. Carol says, I wish I could be your assistant. Oh, you like to fussy cut. I could hand you this guy. He doesn't have a die and you could fussy cut him. Oh, that'd be so perfect. The Paper Pumpkin snail is a great idea, isn't it? I love that they do that. The next Paper Pumpkin is coming, and it coordinates with the Ice Cream Corner Suite. So if you haven't looked, if you haven't checked out April Paper Pumpkin, check it out. It's a good one. I cannot wait. I should have printed the flyer. I knew I was going to talk about Paper Pumpkin a little bit when we use the Paper Pumpkin snail, but you don't want to miss the next Paper Pumpkin. It coordinates with the Ice Cream Corner, It's got the cutest little popsicle shaped cards. You want to get in on it early. Sometimes paper pumpkin kits will run away from Stampin' Up. They don't realize exactly how popular it's going to be. And they have sold out in the past. So if you've got a subscription, you're good. If you're starting a subscription or you've got a prepaid code and you want it, check it out. It's really cute. You do want the next paper pumpkin. I do enjoy a kit. Like I said, I love to send cards, and sometimes you just can't design as many cards as you need. So that's why the whole Stamp-A-Stack kits, and I love paper pumpkin. Can't wait to see April 1st. Okay, so demonstrators get to pre-order from the new annual catalog starting on April 1st. Oh, hang on everybody, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back again. I had to run away for a minute. All right, one more time on my little mushroom, get it nice and clean and white. See how nice it cleaned out? Is the camera focusing on that? So this color lifter is magic. I got a little bit more coloring to do here on Yolanda. She's carrying her little packages. Let's get that guy all done. And we're shading kind of left and bottom. I just do it consistent. I'm a left side shader. There's our little, the light granny apple, light old olive, and dark old olive I'm going to use on this little package. I'm going to just swipe in with the light granny apple, which I think brightens up the old olive a little bit. That's why the 3 colors here. I'll shadow with the old olive and then do a deep shadow with the dark old olive. And then I'll just reverse through them to bring them together. And then our lightest one. Ta-da! All right, let's make sure we got everything we need. I've got my two of those. We've got Wilbur and a couple of letters for Wilbur. And we've got our no-name snail that needs a snail. And our mushrooms. Let's die cut. I didn't even show you the Snailed It Bundle. So this is Snailed It Stamp Set. And when you buy it together with the snail dies, you save 10% on this product. It has definitely been a favorite of mine. There's a die for each of the snails, the little bubble, the little letter. Of course, unless I threw away the little letter. No, there we go. All right. Grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And let's see how many we can cut at one time. I love to see how many die cuts I can get in one pass. I'm still going to have to do, 5, it looks like, because, or 6, no, 5 because of my letters. But let's see how many we can get on the first round. Isn't that cute? And such a different color combination. I love it. All right, I got a couple more passes to make here. After this, they'll go together pretty quick. Love this dude. All right, so this little stamp that we're using, this little You've Got Mail, or Happy Mail enclosed, coordinates with the rectangle punch, the rectangle postage punch. But then I love how Stampin' Up made the little die in the snail dies that cuts out just the envelope, because the envelope makes the perfect accessory. It's a great little embellishment. All right, I got to get Wilbur cut out here, and then we will be assembling. Oh, I've got to do an embossing too. So while I've got the machine, we'll emboss our card base. The kit makes 7 cards. We're going to make one of each design today. and I'm only going to emboss one, but I'm going to emboss with the brick and mortar folder. Let's get Wilbur through here, and then we'll, while we've got the machine, crank the background too. So cute. I'm going to be coloring all evening. I love to color. I find it therapeutic. So line art stamps are my bag. Let's do, this is our brick and mortar folder. I've got a standard card base here. This is Misty Moonlight, and it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. It's a 3D folder, so we're gonna pop it on the platform. That's number 1. And then we'll put number 4 up on top of that and give it a crank. Now at this point, because of the Stamp-A-Stack, I would do all of my 7 cards at once if I was going to emboss them, stamp the background. That's the idea. And do a bunch. And let me have a foam folder. There we go. So since we just did that one, let's work on our You've Got Mail card first. We're gonna cut our gorgeous designer series paper according to Wonder Recipe number 12. This is already posted in the Kitchen Table Stamp or Craft Social. It's a brand new Wonder Recipe. The Wonder Recipe is a cutting diagram, like a one-sheet wonder, for a 6x6 paper, which means that you can multiply this as many times as you need for as many cards as you need. You mix and match the pieces, and we're looking for 3 2x2 pieces and 4 2x3 pieces from each of our 3 designer series papers. I'm gonna give them a cut. I'm gonna pop them in the trimmer. This is the only one that I feel like has a directional pattern that I'd like to control. So I'm gonna put that guy on top. You can do 2 at once in your Stampin' Up! Trimmer. And I'm going to cut according to the Wonder Recipe, so 2 inches. And then we're going to rotate that and cut 3 inches. And I like to take my pieces and lay them right onto the Wonder Recipe as I go. All right. I love the Wonder Recipe. It helps me just jump right in and get crafting. Once you've got your paper picked out, then you've got your color palette. And then once you've got your color palette and your stamp set, you've got your theme. Okay, so we got another 2x3. We're gonna pop that right onto the diagram. And then 2x2s. Once the paper's cut, there's no more anxiety about, oh, it's so beautiful, I can't cut it. I have to keep it perfect. So you're well on your way to making your cards, to completing your cards when you make the Wonder Recipe. All right, so we've got 3 sheets cut up this way. Makes 7 cards with these layouts, but of course you can mix and match. You can change your layouts as you feel, because, you know, that's what we do. Crafty girls do what they want. All right, almost done. We got 2 more cuts here. 1 and 2. There it is. So there's our designer series paper. And for this design, we'll want 1 stack, 1 of each. Love this. Let's get our designer series paper adhered. Use a multi-purpose liquid glue. We're just gonna kind of toggle these. Now from the kit, we have some die cutting that's already done. We did from Old Olive or from Poppy Parade, because there's 2 kits for this. or there's two different kits that use this shape. The middle size rectangle oval from Hippo and Friends. And we've got a little stitched rectangle here. We do the die cutting in the kit, but if you're gonna cut your own kits, this is the 3 1/8 by 1 13/16. This is kind of right in the middle of your stitched rectangles. I'm gonna do a little bit of detail on this. I love to add little stamping or embossing to my die cut layers. I think it really adds a nice detail. It's a simple thing you can do. So we've got the snail from the paper pumpkin. We're also going to use this little like confetti of hearts and flowers. And I'm just going to stamp a few of those so that they go kind of in a diagonal along the tag. And this is Old Olive on Old Olive. Such a cutie. I'm going to stamp each of my labels on each of my cards with the same little background stamp. So I'm going to clean that off and put it aside for the next card. So fun. We're almost done with our first design. Let's go ahead and adhere our label. And then you've got mail. I'm gonna stamp memento, tuxedo black. So we have the "You Got Mail" greeting on our rectangle, and then we're gonna pop Wilbur up with some Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm not seeing any comments come in. If you guys are making comments and I'm not interacting with you, I'm so sorry. I might have some kind of a technical difficulty. Oh, technology. What are you gonna do, right? Can't live with it, don't know how to work it, can't live without it. We'll get Wilbur on the card. If I'm having some sort of technical difficulty, I will have a replay and I'll go back and look at your comments too. Let's get Wilbur popped up. Such a cutie. I'll tell you though, I miss your comments when I'm stamping by myself. All right, now I can always cruise back and take a look, but no, I'm not ignoring you, that I'm just not seeing them for some reason. All right, we've got the Misty Moonlight in color ribbon. Do a little bow. Grab me some ribbon scissors here and glue dots. Trying not to make a mess as I stamp a stack over here. Oh, do you just love it? I just love it. It's cute just like that, but we're gonna embellish a little bit. Buried my embellishments under my die charts. There's never enough room. It's like I feel like a goldfish. I expand to all the space I'm given, but I still need more. All right, we're gonna add a couple of little stars. I liked the star embellishments with the blue background, a couple of stars. And then these little envelopes that we die cut. I need a couple of those. Ahead of time I punched some teeny tiny little red hearts. I used my cookie builder. There's teeny tiny little hearts in the spray of hearts from the Be Mine Stitched dies. So you could get some there. And then if you had the treat bag dies from a few years ago, that one does a whole line of little hearts too. So let's go ahead and pop a little glue and then take your pick tool and we're just gonna cover up that black heart with a little red one. I can't find my other envelopes. I just put them aside here and I don't see them. Hold on, let me lift my machine. I lost my little envelopes really good. Aha! Put them to the other side. I punked myself. All right, here is one more. And I take your pick tool. I'm in love. And Oh, this design has 3. The other design has 2. All right, couple little envelopes. Ta-da! So cute. All right. I'm gonna slide this guy to the side. I'm sure that my envelopes, as soon as I ignore them, will show up. Let's get some scissors and Wilbur. And we're gonna cut him out because we need him for our next design. Here's our next one. Oh no, this one's not Wilbur. What did we decide his name is? I'll have to look on the craft social. Using mini dimensionals. I like little half of minis on the eyeballs. Cute, cute, cute. What a guy, what a guy. There. And here's our little mushrooms. We colored them before and I said I forgot to do the little spiral here, so I'm going to do a little bit of dark old olive on the blades of grass, and then I'm going to take a light old olive and just trace this little curly Q right here. Can soften that grass up a little bit. Cutie. Now the kit for this one includes another one of those labels, 2 1/4 inch circle punch, and then this is also stitched rectangles dies, and we did this one ahead of time using this little tiny skinny 2.5 by 1/2 die. Let's grab our designer series paper from our little wonder recipe here. We're only gonna do one of each design, so we'll grab another of these 2 by 3 piles. And let's assemble. We'll glue the designer series paper to the card using multi-purpose liquid glue. I love the multi-purpose liquid glue or the Snail Plus. I prefer the multi-purpose liquid glue with a 3D embossing folder as the background. I think that it gives you a good strong grip. So be generous and burnish down because you're on that deep texture. We're gonna do the same like we did for our You've Got Mail card, only we're gonna do it landscape instead of portrait. So we got our little layers all toggled on there. I think I wanna try and slip my blue one up just a little bit. There we go. That's all the reason why I like the multi-purpose liquid glue. You got a minute to just slide things into place. I'm going to adhere my little mushrooms onto my 2 1/4 inch circle. They're going to go off the edge so we have some room for our snail. Let's slide everything to the side. We got a little stamping to do. I'm going to get my little confetti again. Let's add a little texture to our label. Got a Poppy Parade stamping pad. We'll stamp color on color. Same thing, we're gonna do just a little spray across for some texture and wipe it off because we got to use it one more time on our last card, and we're going to use Misty Moonlight. So we'll clean it up. Anything will do, though. Freezin' Fun Stamp-A-Stack, that had the buffalo check. That's what we stamped these labels with to give them some texture, and it looked great. And we're going to add that onto our card, multi-purpose liquid glue. A little bit low of center so that you can see some of that old olive on the top and bottom. Now our circle. And this kit makes 2 of this design. The other design is Poppy Parade with an old olive label. Little cutie. Let's Snailed It. We need to make our little tag here. The stamp is "You Snailed It." So I'm going to take a little low-tack tape and I'm going to cover up the word "you." And so I'm just using a little washi tape. Same stuff I use to hold my dies in place. We'll cover up "you." And then we'll ink with Memento Tuxedo Black. And here's the important part. Now you gotta take off the tape. Really important. Otherwise you're gonna make a big blob right on your project. Covered up "you." So now we just got Snailed It. Let's slide this out of the way. I do see some of you watching, but I see no comments. I'm so sorry if you're interacting with me. It's some of the thing I love best about Facebook Live is interacting with you, but I'm not seeing any comments at all. I will make sure that I go through on the replay though and see what you guys had to say. So keep on chatting or leave your comments and I'll monitor them later. I'm going to add our little snail here. It's all got dimensionals, so let's get them sticky and put on. Ta-da, so cute. We want them in the weeds there, but not completely covered. We've worked too hard making those look beautiful. Going back to my Misty Moonlight ribbon from the kit. We're going to tie a bow. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I'm stuck. Okay, take two. Got inky fingers. Poppy Parade ink. That's when you know you're having the most fun. All right. Mini glue dot, where are you? Ta-da! Still missing a letter. I thought for sure it would show itself. I've got one over here for the next card. I'll find it when I clean up. Little bow and some resin spots. I'm gonna go with the red ones here. And we're just gonna kind of pop them out behind our snail. And there's Snailed It. That's design number 2. The kit makes 2 of these cards. So 2 of these and 2 of these. And it makes 3 of this card. 1 of each color, Poppy Parade, Old Olive, and Misty Moonlight. We're gonna do the Poppy Parade card here. So I've already embossed. Let's get our pieces from the grid. Now with 3 pieces of designer series paper, it makes 7 cards. So there's the pieces for our others. We want the 2x2 squares this time. Let's adhere with multi-purpose liquid glue. Just love that polka dot paper. Oh my goodness, I could take a whole pack of that polka dot paper. Anybody else? Polka dot paper, just, I'd like it in a couple of colors too. It'd be a nice pattern to do in like all the regals or all the brights. All right. We're just kind of toggling our squares on the card base. Got a little bit of stamping to do here. I'm going to stamp hello on my banner. And this banner, I'll show you where this one came from. This one was from the Tasteful Labels dies. And got the Hippo and Friends dies. We've got the largest this time of the rectangle ovals. This is Misty Moonlight. And then I've got my oval is Layering Ovals. And my little tag is the Tasteful Label. So here's the little tag from Tasteful Labels. And then layering ovals, it's somewhere in the middle, maybe third largest or fourth largest. Third largest layering ovals, about 2 1/8 by 3. So there's our die cutting. I'm gonna stamp this label, but I'm gonna stamp it all over this time. So let's get our Stampin' Pierce mat and some Misty Moonlight ink. That same little confetti stamp we've been using. Substitute if you didn't get that paper pumpkin for another little spray or a background stamp. With these patterns, I highly recommend the buffalo check. I love that buffalo check. We don't have to cover the center because we're going to cover it with that big oval. We just want to do the edges. Adds a little visual interest. Uh-oh. I love that. It's so cute, isn't it? Look at that little whimsical pattern. Such a cutie. All right, slide the ink pad out of the way. Supposed to have 3 little letters for this, but I've only got 1. I just don't know what happened to them, so we're gonna go with our 1 little letter here. And we're gonna add the little heart punch out Poppy Parade. Use your little hearts, the smallest little hearts from the spray and the Stitched Be Mine. That'll work for you. And my little heart came from my Cookie Builder punch. I was on a roll of using things that I still have hanging around here. Let's adhere our label to the card and then our oval to the label. It's a little bit low of center so that we have balance with our greeting, because isn't that cute with the little fishtail greeting hanging down? Kind of looks like it's secured with the ribbon. Cutie patootie. All right, where's Yolanda? Here she is. Hiding any letters, Yolanda? No, she's not. Too bad. Where are some dimensionals? We want her to pop. Got a couple of minis, a little half mini on the eyeball and on the speech bubble and on our letter. We're going to have 1 letter on this card. We can find them later, we will. I bet you they're on the floor under my desk. All right, there's our snail. Her little message. She says, "Love you." And hello. Hello's going to go on with some multi-purpose liquid glue. Again, I was pretty generous with it because of this brick background. All the way up along the top edge. Snail mail. She'll get another mail when I find it. And she needs a bow. Uh-oh. I don't think I have enough ribbon here. What do I have handy? I'm gonna grab some of this one because I got it handy here. See, I was gonna see how it looks because I gotta make a bunch of these cards. So I was gonna audition some variety ribbons. This is the braided linen trim. I love this stuff, and I thought about it. I was like, it might be nice to grab some of the braided linen for some of these because it brings the crumb cake in, because it's not on the designer series paper. It's a perfectly logical color for a snail, but since it's not on the designer series paper, I thought about it. What do you think? You guys think the braided linen trim works for this design? I put it aside so that I could ask you what you thought, but I can't see your comments, so tell me anyways, or tell me on the replay, and I'd like to know what you think. I think it works. It's not as heavy as because of the wide Misty Moonlight ribbon and the little bit darker color. It seems a little bit lighter. Let's grab some embellishments and finish up. Love it, love it. I'm gonna go with little white ones, kind of down from the envelopes here. And maybe like this way to make a triangle. There. Haha, hello. All right, so there's our fourth design in the Stamp-A-Stack. Let me show you the other colors because you do 3 of these in the kit. So there's 2 and 3, Old Olive and Misty Moonlight. There's 3 cards. If you've got any questions about the project or the Stamp-A-Stack kit, anything I can do to help you stay crafty, email marissa@kitchentablestamper.com. Here's 2 of these. You got mail. And this is the Snailed It one that we made. And then the olive one. If you'd like to shop Stampin' Up 24/7, you can buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. And I will catch you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.